Hey guys, it's me. It is Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who might like it as well. Also, if you feel inclined, leave me a message in the comment section about how you feel about this particular topic that I'm about to drop. All right. I was talking to a woman last night on Facebook, and she said to me that she's really confused because she knows two different types of Aquarius. And I'm like, that's very possible. Aquarius have a lot of contradictions, so it is a lot of that in our sign. Two different types of things. One of us go one way, one of us go another way. That's very common. So she said, she knows Aquarius who will argue you down, fight you, fist fight you. She knows some vicious, aggressive Aquarius. And then she knows some who, even though sometimes they are kind of aggressive, they're not quick to fight. As a matter of fact, she said most of them avoid confrontation as much as they possibly can. So she asked me, what's the deal with these different types of Aquarius? Now, it is true. Some of us are quick to fight, quick to argue, quick to prove our point. To me, those are usually the younger Aquarius. Usually by the time we get to be older, we start to age out of a lot of stupid stuff that we did when we were young. And proving our point and arguing with people and being in their face is something that we tend to grow out of. Thank goodness. Because I was like that as a young girl. I was very assertive and very aggressive. And I was quick to fight. Now, the fighting part depends on where you come from. I came from the hood. Okay, it wasn't the roughest hood in the world. I can't come off like I came from the roughest hood, but I came from a hood where you had to fight. If you didn't know how to fight and people got wind of the fact that you couldn't fight, then you became a target. So you had to know how to fight, and you had to know how to fight well, or you ended up in fights all the time or getting jumped all the time or things like that. So I learned very quickly how to hold my hands. Okay. And that's not a skill that you lose. All right. So I can still hold my hands. But she's right. Aquarius don't necessarily like confrontation, but it's not because we can't, as you can see, defend ourselves. Many of us can defend ourselves. Many Aquarius will knock your lights out, but it's not what we want to do. When we come past that space of being aggressive all the time, being a bully all the time, wanting to fight all the time, prove our point all the time, those of us that are like that, when we come past that space, we don't want to be in confrontations. And we will when we have to. When I have to stand up for myself, trust and believe I will. But we try to be more diplomatic as we get older. Many of us anyway. So the thing about confrontation is not that we can't defend ourselves. I think it's the emotions behind confrontation. That's what bothers me. It's the emotions, the anger, the rage, the uncontrollable, energy that sometimes can lead you to really bad situations. That's one of the reasons why I hate to tell a person, especially a woman, any bad news. I hate the emotional part of the confrontation. Even if it's not a confrontation, it's just bad news I have to give her from somebody else. I hate the emotional part. I hate the crying. I hate the screaming. And if it's a fight, like a negative confrontation, I can't stand the anger and the swole energy. I hate those types of vibrations. So I, and a lot of Aquarius that are like me, stay away from that until it's, unavoidable. If I get into a situation, I'm not going to fight somebody unless I have to. And generally, these confrontations are with romantic partners. That's generally where it comes in at. And I'll give you an example. At one point in time, I used to talk to this guy. This is when I was like 20 something years old. And I wanted to discontinue talking to this guy. And he just would not take the hint. I kept not answering the phone. It was months, y'all. And he just kept trying to call me, kept trying to hit me up. He wasn't doing it all the time. He wasn't being a bugaboo. But every once in a while, his number would pop up. And I would be like, ugh, like, take the hint, please. So then one of my friends saw him at an event. And he told her that I was busy. Oh, I haven't seen her. She's just too busy. And she was like, girl, he not getting the hint. She was like, he is purposely not taking this hint. So she was like, you're going to have to tell him to kick rocks. And I was like, because I don't want to deal with the emotional energy. And what happened? I told him to kick rocks. He acted a fool, y'all. He acted like we was, in love. And we wasn't. We just used to, talk. We were just talking, okay? It was nothing deep. So I was like, oh my God. And he was like, I don't understand what the problem is. He got right nasty with me. And that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. So of course I had to raise up and be like, look, look, I don't want to be bothered. Stop calling me. And he was like, all right. And he stopped calling. But the point of the matter was that I didn't want to say that to him. I hate going through that. I hated going through those emotions. I hated the whole thing. Just the other day, I told you guys about that girl who had been texting me since Thursday, and I was just ducking her. Not even ducking her, just basically ignoring her. So in the comment section, one of my subscribers was like, Queen, just use your words. And I'm going to do a video on that too. So she said, Queen, just use your words. Basically, just talk. Just tell her no, I'm articulate, obviously. Just tell the girl no. But I didn't want to deal with what? The emotions. So she was right. I did go and tell the young lady, and she went about her business, But I'm going to tell y'all something. I felt so violated. And that may seem weird. You can be like, why? How are you violated? I felt violated because she clearly knew that before I said it. She knew I didn't want to be bothered before I made the statement. The same way he knew I didn't want to be bothered before I made the statement. But they play these little tricky games to drag you back into their net. And that's what makes me angry about it. That's what makes me feel violated. Like I have to come have this conversation with you that I don't want to have, and you already know what's really good. You already know. They both already knew, but we're choosing to ignore it. And that's what pisses me off about the confrontation. It wasn't that it was negative. It wasn't even that it was that drawn out. Emotionally speaking, I was irked because I had to have this conversation, period, with two people who already knew. Now, when it comes to anger or like aggression or like a fight or like somebody has wronged you, again, Aquarius is not going to want to have to go down that route. But if we have to, we will. If I got to take it to somebody, I'm going to take it to them. But I'm not going to try to go there up front. Up front, I'm going to try to ignore it. I am. This is the Aquarius thing. We try to ignore it. We try to go around it. We try not to deal with them. We try avoidance. We try any form of avoidance. And once we have to, no matter what the situation is, if we can't avoid it, that's when we will go ahead and handle it. Because it's not that we can't. Like some people can't. Some people just don't have the backbone. Aquarius has the backbone. Aquarius doesn't feel like being bothered with the bullshit that goes along with confrontation. And that bullshit is usually screaming, hollering, getting nasty, negative energy, crying. I can't stand when I tell somebody something and they start crying. Oh my God, I cannot stand that. I cannot stand that. So a lot of times, many of us will avoid confrontation for those reasons. So if you see Aquarius and you notice they're avoiding confrontation, that's why. Also, we're humanitarians. So at the root of it all, we really like people. Not all the time. Sometimes we need to be away from them. But at the root of it, we do like people and we want to help people. We want to have positive energy and relationships with people. We don't want to have negative, nasty, nastiness, in the air between us and another person. So it is true. Aquarius does, in a lot of cases, especially those that are like me, we do try to stay away from confrontation. Because like I said, at the end of the day, all that, I'm going to tell y'all, all that getting your blood pressure up, all that yelling and crying, it don't get you nowhere. And with an Aquarius, many of us shut off. I've seen a lot of Aquarius shut off when another person was overly emotional during a confrontation. I've walked out before. I remember one time I was at work and this girl was really pissed at me at work. She couldn't stand me. Basically, I don't even know why. I didn't even do anything to her. She just decided not to like me, and that was the extent of our relationship. I didn't really care because I didn't like her either. So one day we're in the lobby area at our job, and she was like, "Oh, what's up now? You want to fight me? Blah, blah, blah," and was like screaming at me across the lobby. My boss was standing right there. He didn't say nothing. I looked at her, rolled my eyes, grabbed my bag, and walked out. And she was like, "You're not going to respond to me?" I didn't even turn around. I walked right out the door, got in the car, and kept it moving. If it's a confrontation like that, I've walked away from many people in those situations. If you hit me, I'm going to kill you. Straight up. That is something I probably will black out from something like that. I'm going to snap. But as long as you just talking and you talking from over there, you keep on talking. As a matter of fact, walk and talk at the same damn time. Okay? And if you're not going to walk and talk, I'm going to walk while you keep on talking. You don't have to go to every party that you're invited to. Likewise, you don't have to go to every fight that you're invited to. So that is true of many Aquarius. You know, some Aquarius will pop off and some of us will just be like, talk to the hand. All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And all of my information will be underneath this video. So if you want to talk to me, if you want a reading, if you want to be my patron, if you want to send me a gift, if you want to do any of those kind of things, then look under the video and you'll see all of my information. And come back tomorrow because I have a lot more to tell you. See you later.